All right, my babies. I'm going to start today with a quote from Nietzsche. Uh, Nietzsche states, in times of turmoil, we are attacked by, I don't know if he used the word demons, but let's go with thoughts that we once conquered. I think that's how people kind of like envision thoughts. They envision them in a very much demonic state. The reality is, like, there's nothing. They are always trains of thought that you kind of allowed a possibility. And how can I explain this? I could explain it the best way I actually like figured it out like yesterday. Uh, a thought that exists lingering in your head is a thought that you haven't properly like established as a truth or as a false. And that's very important for us because like we operate based on the logic of the world. So once something kind of like disturbs our train of thought, again, train of thought, our existence, our continuity, what happens is we kind of like don't know where to place it within the realm of reality. And especially the reality that we're living or the reality that we want. Because ultimately, like a thought that you don't like, if it basically takes over, then that's a reality that you're not really like longing for, excited for, wanting. And so there's a full-blown like rational slash emotional understanding that we probably have to go through in order for us to kind of get through these things. But over the course of the past weekend, like I did about 8 videos where I literally expressed every single thing. What I told the story, it's public, right? I posted it on YouTube. So what happens is my mind kind of like went, all right, so now you're exposed. And I had a conversation about this the other day because like I couldn't sleep the day I actually had like I went and I saw my sister and I was like elaborating on a lot of positivity. Although a lot of shit was happening in a negative sense in my life, I was just being very like I was only seeing the beautiful things that are kind of like happening and the whole like interaction between like the negative passes, then what's left after the negative passes is all the good stuff that's happening. So you kind of want the negative shit to pass as soon as they can. So so I was emptied out, and I figured I'd try to see if I could assess, uh, plan, plan ahead, because with the whole anything business oriented that's been happening, kind of being shoved out of the way, all that stuff. And it's funny because every time I come to actually register my company, everything that's shitty about every single thing that could be crappy about what I'm doing kind of like reveals itself. Like every single time I'm being serious about registering my company. And bear with me, it's the same company, it's going to run my platform. The problem is right now it's running under the whole consulting slash like all the other stuff I learned over the past 4 months, 5 months. So now here I am. Today I actually like finalized the conversation with the owner, the guy who I was supposed to be working with. And just to like read the conversation out loud, uh, here you go. At this point, I didn't care about plans. So here he starts with he calls me, and I go like, and I respond with like. So I sent him a message today and was like, say you don't want to give me the money I spent, but don't waste my time anymore. And so he sends me an invoice and he goes like, all the things, and he goes like, these have been done. And I go like, all the things have been done with pending payments. And he goes like, I didn't see anything done yet. And my response was like, what would you see other than the campaigns being managed and your brand advertised? I point out here that the whole point of what I'm doing is a 6 month process that he broke the first month. So I've been like researching for 2 months, and now that we're starting with the campaigns, he kind of backed out, and all my expenses have already been paid, and he has to kind of pay me. And then he responds with like, at this point, I don't care about plans. Your invoice is outrageous. It doesn't make any sense. I try to explain to him. I'm a bit aggressive in my explanation, or I'm just maybe like pointing at things. But anyways, he goes like, I don't want to continue writing back and forth. You're invoicing me on a job that I haven't seen. And anyways, he points out that like he's not going to pay my money. And I go like, thank you very much. My end is like, shame you turned out to be such a man. I wish you the best, Mr. Paul. At least now I see who you truly are. Have a good day. And that was it. That was the end of our conversation together. So that's a bit of a relief. I'm not gonna lie, but honestly, that was a lot more frustration than I thought I would handle because I figured at the very least, like he would actually want to like pay me the money and get it over with. But it really turned out to be that he has an issue. It really turned out to be that he had an issue with the ships. He had an issue with money, and instead of communicating with me and postponing some stuff or just like anything, he just decided to be like a complete cunt about it. It's very shameful, especially when it comes to people. But again, like that is something that had to happen for me to kind of like, it was like, what I really want to do has not changed. All these side quests to level me up, maybe it's not the time for them, or maybe that's just kind of like exposing me to the things that I'm trying to, that I'm going to need into the future. And the best way I can look at it is it's exposing me to how people could behave so that in the future, when it matters, because I'm talking about my own platform, I interact differently. There's an arrogance behind how I can do things that I see in myself that I don't like. And there's a contradiction between like the honesty that I have with myself and the kind of negligence that I interact when it comes to people, because maybe I expect that honesty, or maybe I anticipate it from myself, so I assume it, and most of the time I'm not really truthful, because like when I reflect back on my feelings, I realize that the logic behind the feelings, the logic behind and the reasoning is not really in sync with how I feel about things. So it is funny, any way you look at it, interacting with people is just heavier. And that's because they themselves, most of the time, are not in harmony. And when somebody's not in harmony, the first thing they do is they kind of like destabilize you because their energy is sporadic and it doesn't make sense. It's not syncing with anything that they're saying, it's not syncing with anything that they're going through or behaving with. So over the course of interacting with them, you're kind of like thrown off your own like kind of rail. You're thrown off your own rhythm, and that could never benefit you, regardless. At best, it kind of like gives you something. So again, like I am under the belief that every single day should be a contribution to whatever you set your mind to as the bigger reason for your existence. I am not existing just to survive. If it's just to survive, then we can survive in millions of ways. Like you can see them all over the internet, like just people that went and are surviving in the woods, doing random shit and all that kind of stuff. We're not existing here to survive. Our survival, I think, we're no longer in the age of we have to survive. We're in the age with like, what the fuck do you want to do? And are you part of the people that actually want to do something for yourself? Want to like leave a mark? Want to like chase something in your head? Build, create, envision? Or are you the kind of person that's just going to basically live day by day or follow? Well, either one of them is fucking cool, man. But like for me, I'm under the belief that if there's something that you think you'd want to do, just fucking everything you do every day, every action should basically be contributing to it. And so you need that harmony, you need that like flow towards that thing, and everything that is around you should always kind of like either nudge you in the right direction or show you what the wrong direction could be. And that goes back to like Miyamoto Musashi's like the way, like finding the way. And he has like 21 laws of Dokudo. And every single one of these laws is literally just for you to kind of like not go astray, not move your eyes from your own path, not move from the actual direction that you're going to. And every single day, every single step you're making, every push you're going towards is a push fig- towards you actually being in harmony with your own existence and with the reality that you're creating. And if it's not, that kind of like means that you're not really in charge. You're not really the person that's like in control or moving forward. So it's very much like reflecting on, I think, the frustration behind this and how beautiful it is that I got to get out of it. And even though the guy is not going to pay me my money, kind of like, I'm okay with that. And I'm glad he's not, because then that money could be contribution to the karma that I have to pay, to the times where I fucked up, to the times where I acted the way he's acting right now. It's me saying it right now out loud this way is basically me being happy that it went down this way, and me being happy that I was honest about everything but not emotional, and me finalizing it. Huh. Thank you guys.